Fast Signs have been supplying signs to companies and organisations in Leeds and West Yorkshire since 1995. From vehicle graphics, event banners and directional signs to shop fronts, internal wall graphics, they help companies make a statement and stand out. They have a great team who can help with the design, production and installation of your signs. Check them out at fastsigns.com/Leeds or call into their office on York Road on the outskirts of the city centre. And also make sure you mention the Lot Pod. Hi everybody, welcome to the Lot Pod, the Leeds Rhinos Lot 17-8 podcast, kindly sponsored by Fast Signs. Eddie, producer Chris and Phil here for this match review panel. Phil, how the devil are you?
Good. Busy week. It's always nice to finish off and be here with you guys with
you're back on this Sunday in the Lot Pod studio.
Yeah. It's nice to have a Rhinos victory in it from the noisy neighbours down the road.
The smelly neighbours. Producer Chris, how are you?
Good. I noticed you waited till I'd taken a swig this week.
Yeah, the world's largest coffee.
It's massive, that, isn't
Look at the size. I don't know if you're watching on YouTube.
It's a good job. It's decaf.
Just for size, let's just put that the size of my head. It's almost the size.
It's a good job it is decaf. You'd be up about 2 weeks with that.
You're shaking. Yeah. Okay. Do you want to talk about Wake again? Do you want to talk about this game? Just pack up water splash 968.
No, I'm really good.
It's got some money on if you can afford them.
If you can afford to legit Starbucks as well.
Starbucks.
I just filled it with Nescafe.
Filled with
mellow birds.
No, those are the A-guy years when everything was filled with brandy and sherry. So we're going to review the game. We're going to hand out our Matt Frawley Fast Signs Player of the Match, and we're going to discuss.
Or is it?
But for the last time. It could be the last time, or is it? Is this to equal?
Well, I think if it equals it, that's it.
Yeah,
surely.
Yeah, surely. I think. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Well, that's just me. That's just me as the chairman.
Potentially. Hand out.
We'll see.
Matt Frawley Fast Signs Player of the Match for potentially the last time. I've said potential too many times now. We are going to discuss the rumours also around Steve McNamara potentially becoming the Rhinos head coach, and we're going to preview the Wakefield game too. So it is match review panel time. Castleford 6, Leeds Rhinos 29. Phil, what positives can the Rhinos take from this one? There's quite a few. There's
quite a few. I thought those forwards were outstanding yesterday. They set a really good platform, didn't they, to do that. I think more overall performance for more minutes. We didn't try to panic. Like I said, the forwards were good. Bit more clinical in them areas as well, and we had a spine were good as well. You know, so the forwards set the platform, and a spine we were able to capitalise off the back of that for me.
Yeah. Producer Chris, your positives?
Similar. I just think it was a really professional performance because, you could say it's Cass, but that is their cup final, isn't it? That's their big game, and they were up for it. They defended really well, but we didn't try panic. We
could have got dragged into it, couldn't we, a bit, I think?
We could have got dragged down to sort of a scrap or trying to throw the ball about too much.
Which we've been guilty of in the past.
Yeah. And it would just... They knew that they'd get over them if they stuck to the game plan, and they did. Third time that we've had as preferred spine. Looked better. Looked like they're starting to... I think Croft is still feeling his way back in it from an injury, but I thought he had a really good game, actually. Apart from that missed tackle. But
when Alex Mellor ran straight on top of it.
The spine, I think, could be doing some good things in a few weeks.
They just need to stay together.
Because the forward pack...
Best in the league.
It's not far off.
No, it is.
If the pack maintain that, like I said, there's no excuse for the backs if they're settled enough not to play some good rugby off back of it.
And I were pleased for Harry because he's been getting pelters, hasn't he?
And no one knows why.
And he dropped that ball, didn't he? And I'm like, he's going to get it again, innit? And I thought he had a really, really good game. His 2 tries were easy, but...
Yeah, you've got to score him.
He had to be in that position there, though, didn't he?
Yeah.
To finish him off.
So I would chuff for Harry, really.
And you've got to score him. I've got loads. I've got Miller, Lasoni, Connor, Newman, and obviously the amazing Leeds end over at Cass. But I think we're going to start the review by doing something we've never done before on this podcast, and that's start this podcast by talking about the opposition. because obviously there's an enormous Leeds connection there in the head coach and the assistant coach, to be fair, over at Castleford. Not only do they have the best Leeds player ever, but they have the best rugby league player ever. As
ting, ting, ting.
there's the bell. Frog. Danny's got his work cut out at Cass, Phil. Do you think more of him for kind of going out of his comfort zone and going to the Tigers and giving it a go? How have you seen Danny's?
It's always gonna be a difficult gig for whoever goes in there, isn't it? You know,
They've got no cash, have they?
Yeah, there's no cash. The squad's always a bit depleted. You're trying to squeeze a team together.
Yeah.
Regardless of what Danny did in his playing career for Leeds, he were outstanding. But I think it was a natural step for him coming from LKR as an assistant. I don't think he wanted to go back into another assistant role, and I think he wanted to try and get a team playing his way. It's just whether that squad is good enough to actually play how he wants to get them to play.
I mean, if Danny can't get a tune out of them,
they've got two poor halfbacks, though, aren't they? Really, and in grand scheme of things like that.
I only know one of them.
Is it Assy?
I don't know him.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of unknown tested players what they've had to bring in, aren't they? Purely just so that they can field the team. So they're always doing that. And regardless, like I said, what Danny did in his Leeds playing career, it's going to be hard of any player or any good coach of any magnitude to get a tune and a week in, week out performance from a squad of that nature.
What I don't want to happen is it's obviously his first head coach role, and it can kill you off that, can't it? Like, look how crap you were at Cass.
Yeah.
And I don't want that
difficult to get a second chance.
I mean, it's easy for me to sit here and say this, but I don't think he should have taken it.
It's what we do every week.
Yeah.
It's what we do every week. We're all Captain Hindsight and said, why did you pass that?
We know everything, Chris, remember.
This is
the event, we're really good at breaking that down.
I don't think it wasn't the right role, in my opinion, for him, because he's not experienced enough to get a team like that playing well.
And he's way too classy for Cass.
Oh, it's not hard, is it?
Way too classy for Cass.
Like you said, I think it'd be hard for any... Look at the coaches they've had in past, the season coaches who've gone in there.
They should have stuck with Lingard, I think, if he wanted to stay.
Yeah, he was a good coach, wasn't he, about Craig Lingard?
Yeah.
And then,
I think they need somebody with a bit of experience that can sort of get them out of this hole with the players they've got.
Is what I do like when Cass have been on TV or you've watched them and stuff and that, I think you can see that Danny's still Mr. Rugby League and he lives every moment through it.
It's great to see him.
He's got that passion and that and stuff and things, but it must be just so frustrating from, like I said, a player of his calibre and everything he's achieved in the game to try and get that through to the players on the pitch. But whether he's took it for the right reasons or the wrong reasons to cut his teeth as their first head coach. Like I said, I don't think he'd have benefited from being an assistant elsewhere. I think he'd done that at LKR, and I think he wanted to take that next step and get a team and shape it to how he wants to play. But it's just that next opportunity what came up with Cass, unfortunately.
Cass. Do you think he'll get it right?
No. I don't think they've got the money to get the squad in.
Not even next year?
Maybe next year if they can get... Are they being bought out? Are they getting some money?
They've meant to have got a new owner, a new investment.
Yeah.
I mean, they've spoken around getting a new ground for years, haven't they? Which is long overdue.
I had first time they mentioned
but if they can get some money in and he can get some players that he wants, I hope they don't sack him, because that'll be awful for him.
We never want Danny to be sacked.
And I don't know what much more he can do. I thought they played well yesterday.
I think the best thing he could do is put a shirt on.
He might have to. Scott Morrell did it, didn't he? Scott Morrell did it. He had to do it.
JP did it.
JP's done it and just registered himself and said, "Look, lads, this is how you do it."
I don't know. I think they're lucky that Salford are in the right hole.
Yes, they are.
And Huddersfield have had a bad start. Otherwise,
I think if they can get through this season, and again, it's weird because you probably never took much notice of Cass before, but because Danny's there, you look at it now, don't you? And you think,
I do.
What's he doing, and vice versa.
I've got a real interest in it.
I think if they can get through this season and they do get a bit of investment and they do get some players actually what he wants, rather than the ones they're just having to pull in because they need to field the squad, etc.
They need some forwards, really. I know they've got Amon, but he's only there as a stopgap, isn't he? So, and he was their best player up until he did a stupid tackle and tackled Lissone's knee with his head.
It's not the best idea, that is it?
They need some forwards, but they need he was one of the best halfbacks that's ever played. He needs some decent
best,
halfbacks. Because with the best will in the world, this Rome Mills ain't going to trouble many teams, is he?
No.
He's steady away, and that other guy, I don't even know what he's offering as a halfback. Maybe they'd be better bringing Tex Hoy into half, so I don't know.
Yeah,
because he seems wasted at back to me. He's not getting out. And he's a good player.
He is a good player. If you give him a chance.
I like the centre that they've got. That Cini.
I
think if he were in
a better team,
he'd be going really well.
Good. Yeah, he did. Well, I hope it gets better, and I hope in time they get some decent investment. And I wish Danny and Brett Delaney all the best in trying to turn that Castleford because they're Leeds legends, and that's enough about crappy Cast. 7-0 at half time. Lasoni comes on. His first run is a big one. Tomamoni goes smashing straight into his knee for a HIA. Off the back of that, we go up the field. Newman fakes an offload to Lasoni. Liam Horn tackles Lasoni off the ball. Penalty. Next time Lasoni touches the ball, he scores.
Yeah.
Discuss.
How many Weetabix did he eat?
19. I mean, impact.
First time round. Yeah.
He's becoming the player that we always wanted him to be.
This is the version.
The problem he's got is his contract's up, isn't he? So why, if he'd have done this last year, he'd have been nailed on a new contract, wouldn't he? To be honest, I'd give him another year.
Oh, absolutely.
Because we said it last week, didn't we?
Yeah.
You've got to replace him then. Fans love him. If he can play like that, the reason he's playing like that is because the other props are playing well and they can do big minutes.
Absolutely.
So he doesn't really need to do more than his 20-minute spell. No. We can afford that. We always said he's a luxury prop.
Yeah.
We can afford that luxury now.
And we can.
I'd be giving him another year.
If we don't sign him for another year or however long that may be, Phil, another Super League side is going to take this guy.
They'll take him, won't they?
They'll take him.
For what Chris has just said there, he's capable of doing that impact stuff. It looks like he's put a bit more beef on because when he first came, he slimmed down a bit, and then
I think he's put more muscle on.
Yeah, it's consistency.
But it was interesting. Brad Arthur said that he challenged him to get down to a certain weight,
right,
and to keep it.
Well, he said if you don't get to that weight, you're not playing.
Yeah. The thing is, though, he's nimble, and he's agile, he's quick, he's got fast feet. He's got fast feet.
He's good to watch when he's playing like that.
He's a crowd pleaser, isn't he? And when he does what he does and comes on, like you said, that first impact, what he did, he absolutely wiped Tom Amone out, then got a penalty, and then he scored straight off at back of that. And 3 positive impacts there straight away. What you'd expect a player of his size and that coming onto the pitch to do.
Every time he ran.
Again, for me, I'd just like to. What he did great, don't rest on them laurels and start to. We need to see that more of it week in, week out for that period of time. Whether he's on pitch for 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, he's got to be doing that every week.
Yeah, we need that same impact, that same aggression.
Yeah, because he's capable of doing it. We've seen it, haven't we?
Absolutely.
But we've got to be, again, this echoes something Brad Arthur says. He said it's pointless him coming on when we're defending.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we've got to be
just a waste.
We've got to be in decent field
position. He needs
position.
the ball in his hand, yeah. Or we need the ball.
Which is, I suppose, down to coach to know when to.
He's a wrecking ball, and
when
he
to
just
put
comes
him on,
and just.
And he put him on at perfect times, didn't
he?
Yeah.
Off he goes. Liam Horn was so petrified. He tackled him. He didn't even have the ball. Lasoni. He was just like, oh my God. I need to try and stop this guy.
I'll get him before he gets the ball.
I get him before he gets the ball. Absolutely monstrous, enormous impact from Sam Lasoni. Definitely going to be in the talk for the player of the match. 27 minutes, 2 tries.
That's how long he played.
27 minutes.
We'll get
to his meters and stuff. But 27 minutes, 2 tries. You can't. That's just. I felt. Because people often say, oh, well, he only does it against the softer sides, but his impact alone is match-winning.
Well, he has been doing it against the bigger sides, though, this year, so that's fine, isn't it? I'll tell you what, he did well to catch that tap back from Miller.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Because he tapped it back quite hard, didn't he?
Which would have great. So come to Ilaki.
Yeah, so keep it up, Sam.
Yeah,
and
keep it up and you'll get a new contract.
You'll get that new deal.
More of it week in, week out.
And we'll be absolutely over the moon. 2 tries for Harry Newman. I think he's deserved some tries. Have you enjoyed his season so far, Phil?
I like Harry Newman anyway. I think he's a great player. And I think if you take that little bit of grubbiness and little bit of naughtiness he's got in his game. He's not the same player than when he actually does perform.
He's cut it right down, though, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has cut it right down. And, we've spoken here before, haven't we? He's a right-sided centre, left-sided centre, etc. He had to finish his tries yesterday. Yeah, he had to be in the right position and finish them off. They were relatively easy for a player of his calibre. But he's coming for some stick recently. And I think he's just an easy target because of how he sometimes conducts himself on the pitch. So he becomes an easy target and he becomes a blame person. If something goes wrong and he has a little bit of that petulance about him, people just blame him for it, regardless whether it's him or not, But yeah, he deserves his 2 tries yesterday. But again, just that kick on and be that player what you've got there. We know that he can be.
What I liked was his impact when he would taking ball. He would direct one in, poking his nose through and skipping across. And he's not the player when he was when he was 20.
No.
People need to get that out of
they change the game, don't they? I mean, we don't know what's being said behind them in them training sessions or behind closed doors. He might be playing exactly how Brad Arthur wants him to play.
He's attracting 3-4 defenders every time.
He's better than he was when he was 20. He's miles better.
His defence is better.
He's on the field more.
Well, I was just about to say that.
Because you remember his injury record.
You've just preempted me that. He got stick all the time for being injured all the time. He's changed the way he plays, his running style and everything, and he's not been injured for, a year and a half?
Yeah.
And he's still getting stick.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what
he'll be England centre alongside Jake Ward, I think.
You reckon?
He's the best England centre.
I think Shane Warne loves him.
Yeah.
Shane Warne?
Shane Warne.
The cricketer.
R.I.P.
Yeah, the dead one. Sean Wayne. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Shane Warne.
Shane Ward, the X Factor
Shane
winner.
Wardle.
Joe Wardle.
Whoever's Great Britain England coach.
Welcome to the Test Match Cricket podcast.
I'd love to do one of them. Test match.
Would you?
Yeah. I'd love to be on TMS. I thought he were outstanding. I thought the assist from Croft were great as well. Beautiful grubber through. But the awareness of Senior to spot his centre bursting through to score. Senior's a great talent. The vision to spot Newman as he just fell over. Popped up to Harry.
Nice little assist, wasn't it?
It was a beautiful assist. I mean, the vision Senior had there to just... he almost knew, eyes in the back of his head, to know, I know Harry's coming, so I'm just going
to pop it to him.
I'll just pop it up, and there you go, son, and get yourself on. So
he did score an easier try.
He could have easily knocked that on.
It did, but it was bobbling.
But he was there, wasn't he?
Yeah.
The thing is, he backed himself. So obviously, I'm taking the mick there with Senior. The grubber went through from Croft, but Harry has shown the initiative to follow it through. He's off his head now. He's finished his Starbucks.
He's wired.
He's backed himself to finish, to run through to say, this guy's going to make a mistake because he's not very good.
The thing was,
I'm going to score.
It was about that
I've
kick
got a
pressure,
chance.
wasn't it? Because they were in full motion when Croft put that kick through. If they're not and they haven't read it, or there's been no communication that kick's coming, they don't put Senior under pressure. He don't drop the ball or bobble it, etc. And he's got loads of time either to kick it dead, etc. So even just having that pressure there and being in that right position, he's still got to put it down and do whatever. It was an easy try for someone like Harry Newman, but it still could have gone either way.
Yeah, I think he created it because of his run. His pressure.
Well, Senior knew he was there.
If he just, but if he just,
that's what I'm saying. If he don't,
force it, if he forced the error, he creates the try from his own initiative. Lucky Miller, I think you are. Well, no, I know you are. Sorry,
there we go.
Come on, you are the chairman of the Lucky Miller fan club. But what I think is, we're running out of ways to describe this man now. I can't think of any more ways I can kind of thank his talent and promote it, because it's just unbelievable.
All I'd say is he's done exactly what he said he wanted to do to us when we interviewed him.
When he spoke on the pod at Christmas.
Cut out the errors and be a bit more direct. The only thing he hadn't done is score more tries. He said he wanted to score more tries, but doesn't really need to, does he?
No, but like I said, I think that will come as we get more settled in that spine and that attack and whatever, and he keeps supporting and pushing up middle. I think he'll get that.
I'm just chuffed, really, because I've always liked watching him play, but it was frustrating last year. And I think I mentioned it before on pod, and a Saints fan said to me, he's just a pound shot Jai Field. And I was like, He doesn't even play like Jai Field.
Well, and he's way
And
better
like,
than Jai Field.
He is better than that. He's more consistent.
I think he's
just-
best fullback in the league by a mile. By a country mile.
Well, I would say that, wouldn't I? But
I have. And I believe it. I'm not
I think
even
he's
trolling.
one of the best players to watch. I know Bevan French is amazing, isn't he? And we can all agree
He
with
plays
that.
for Wigan, though, doesn't he?
Exactly, that's the problem.
So that's...
I just think he offers something totally different to other players in the league and something that we've not seen
I don't think there's many players in the world
in a Leeds.
playing
in a-
rugby league.
Yeah, I
offer
don't
what
think
Lackey
we've
does.
seen it for, like you said, for years. And what he has done is he's exactly what he said. And he's evolved his game, even by his own admission. He's still learning rugby league. It's still very early days in his rugby league career, but look at the progress he's made so far. And then, like I said yesterday, with his stats and everything else, his kick return's good. He's good under high ball. He's
awesome under high ball.
He's brilliant.
And sometimes under the high ball, it's almost as if he's either misread the kick or he's made it hard for himself to catch.
I think
did-
he challenges himself sometimes because he just jumps.
Well, he does that when he's running.
running.
He does that when he's running, doesn't he? He's like,
Yeah.
take it easy route, Lockie.
Yeah.
You don't need to beat 5 players, but
I'll
it's
run
good
into
to
him,
watch.
I'll-
I'm quite
I'll run into him. I'll hand him.
No,
off.
because
Who's
if
next? I'll
you
spin him.
watch behind the game in the dressing room in the Rhinos dressing room, it says take the hard option always.
Yeah, well, it is doing,
and that's
isn't
what
it?
he's doing.
that.
But I mean,
Absolutely.
he did drop that monstrous kick, but what he did, what all good fullbacks should do,
Backwards,
is he
wasn't
would
he?
pay. He would.
Yeah.
He knew it were a nightmare.
Yeah.
So he faced himself backwards, didn't he?
So he's gone that way.
Yeah, he's playing outstanding. It's just good to watch. You want to be entertained, don't you? What I don't want him to do is change his game too much because you need that sevens instinct, like his passing.
Yeah, his best passer in the league.
His passing's unbelievable.
It is out of this world. It's off the planet.
And
how good this guy's
like when he
passing is.
switches sides. We've created quite a lot from him doing that.
Yeah.
But they don't know what he's going to do, do they?
No.
He don't know what he's going
Because
to
he
do.
doesn't know.
He's, just...
I
know
can't
would say
recall
this,
a
but
more entertaining player for Leeds.
We haven't had one for a long time, have we?
Got to go back to Danny and Rob.
And they were entertaining in a bit of a different way, weren't they? They were just out and out classy rugby league players on there.
I think
Lockie's just
Miller.
a bit
Yeah,
mental.
Miller's a bit wacky, innit? But the good thing, the slight difference as well, is that most of his possession comes from a kick return, doesn't he? So he's got quite a lot of space in front of him already.
Yeah.
Whereas Danny and Rob were always trying to create that bit of space from a sidestep or
From a
whatever.
side or-
Whereas Miller, when from that kick return, he's got acres of space in front of him, and he just tries to exploit it any way
got a
he
little
can.
bit more
doesn't he?
time to sum things up.
He's linking well with halfbacks though now, which he didn't do
Yeah,
a
he
lot
is.
of, did he, last year? And down, especially down that left hand side, he were working well with Ash, wasn't he?
And as we've seen in previous weeks, he can throw a killer pass off either side, can't he?
Yeah,
You
just
know,
we don't need him kicking. I know Jake Connor don't want to do it, but he's a
No,
better
but
kicker.
Jake
than-
Connor is a better kicker. Yeah, I was glad when I did see that.
And that's something that we've discussed throughout the year, isn't it? Whether
Yeah.
Lucky or
He just-
Connor. Were you happy then when
Yeah,
Connor took
we've
the
been
kicking
spoiled to
duties?
Reece Martin, haven't we? Because we had missing
Absolutely,
consistency.
yeah.
We're pinging them from here, there, and everywhere. And I think obviously it's vital in them closer games where when you're scoring, you want to make them 6-point tries, don't you, instead of 4.
I think what might have been happening, and Lackey sort of said this in one of the interviews, is he says I'm kicking near to 100% in training. So that's why he's getting picked, and he said I'm just not doing it in games.
That's why Brad Arthur said they're trying to recreate.
Yeah, he's like I'm
The
nailing
game day
everything in
feel.
training. So you're gonna go, well, have a go.
It's got to be this guy because he's
And
killing
then-
it.
The good thing is we've got options there, haven't we? We've got
Yeah.
someone else on the pitch who can do it.
Yeah, and Croft can kick as well, I think.
Yeah,
So,
there's a few.
Callum Watkins can.
Callum Walker,
Callum Walker,
Shane
The
Warne.
journalist.
Shane Walker.
What's my name?
Just what is in there?
What's in that? South Brandy.
Is that an
I can
Irish
smell it
coffee?
on his breath.
I think it's wine.
Coffee and wine.
Starbucks now doing Irish coffees.
Callum Watkins.
There we
Yeah,
go.
he can kick.
He can kick.
Yeah.
So I'm not overly fussed at this stage. Like I said before, it's only a problem when it becomes a problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, like Phil's in those closer games.
I'd prefer Lockie just to concentrate on doing what he's doing
Yeah, definitely.
best and not have to worry about that. So, yeah.
just keep it-
and we will get to stats which are unbelievable, but
Yeah, they are absolutely outstanding. So, Phil, why did Aletsky pass?
The dreaded white line fever, what the prop gets, doesn't it, I think?
What am I doing there?
Yeah, he was like, I shouldn't be this far up the pitch.
Someone else take it.
Yeah, but Yeah, he were there when he'd opened. He'd done the hard work and then thought he were.
He's going to be getting shit all week, innit?
God, he'll be getting pelters.
Training will be interesting, won't it? But I don't know. I think he just had a bit of brain fog, didn't he? And thought, what am I doing here?
Pass it to him.
Yeah.
That's the fullback.
I think he's just done what he's always done through his career, hasn't he? He's brought the line and gone, right, where's the little man?
Yeah.
I need a little bloke to pass this to.
I mean, I don't know. Was he falling though? Would it look like he was falling or?
I wasn't annoyed really. You know, sometimes you get annoyed at players like
that. It was funny, wasn't it?
I'm like, Nick, what have you done? What you did was harder than scoring.
He'll text him, especially if he. Has he scored this season? So far,
I don't know whether he has.
I don't think he has, and if that's his only opportunity, then he's got his kegs off.
I don't think he's scored for a year.
He's got his kegs off doing the naked run.
He'd just run.
He'd run over Tex, so I took him with him.
Yeah,
lifted him on his shoulder, smacking his ass to the try line.
That's the standoff in the prop. What Mick thinks he is, but just run straight over the top of him.
Yeah, it was funny. It was more of a funny. I just because you said like, what you do?
I don't know whether he actually thought about. He would dummy in it, but then passed it.
Yeah, but I think they're a bit
do you know
caught
what I mean?
in
Like,
two minds.
Right, I'm going to dummy him and go, and then, actually, no, I've just passed it.
Just give it straight to Tex. The one thing that we didn't want to do, it was funny anyway. Cooper Jenkins back in the side, Phil, and banging form. It's almost as if he's never missed a game. He played 32 minutes, 111 metres.
It's great, isn't it? It's everything we wanted from us.
Riches.
What we've asked for past couple of seasons is a pack which is dominant, and that's what we've got. We've got a luxury of that in all different shapes and sizes now with his bench. Like I said, sometimes they're getting dropped just for no reason, aren't they? But Cooper Jenkins, he's been a great signing for me.
Yeah.
He comes on, he's a workhorse, does what he needs to do, and yeah.
I know he's a quarter spot, but I bet his wage isn't huge, is it?
Not this time.
No, because he want an established out and out NRL.
He never played, did he?
No, that's what I'm saying. But
did we give him 2 years? Is it a 2 year or is it 3 years?
I think he was 2.
I think he was 2.
But yeah, Palacia, however we're pronouncing it this week.
We call him
again.
KP.
Yeah, another cricketing term, you see.
There we go.
But yeah, they've both been great. But yeah, Cooper Jenkins again were great yesterday, as all the forwards were.
KP's just outstanding.
I can't. It's very similar to Lackey Miller. I'm starting to feel this with the whole Leeds side, or certainly the biggest majority. I can't. I'm running out of words.
He doesn't do a lot of fancy stuff, but he does everything.
He does all the basics right.
And he's absolutely solid.
I don't think I've seen him miss a tackle.
He hasn't in his career.
I don't think I've seen him.
I'm going to keep saying it.
I don't think I've seen him dominated in a tackle when he's going forward.
No,
he always seems to win the floor, doesn't he? And
if he's having to pass, it's always on the money. He does nothing wrong.
Yeah,
he's going to be the harder player to keep in this Leeds side.
What you think? You think he's going to somebody in NRL?
Tempted somewhere to go back to NRL.
100%.
You reckon?
To me, I don't know if the NRL or anyone scouts do watch Super League, but they'd be looking at him and saying,
I don't even know how we got him. An international.
20, 22, 23 grand final.
Were he contracted?
Yeah.
Maybe that's it. They were trying to offload for salary cap reasons.
Potentially.
They got rid of the wrong bloke.
Yeah. And they probably just wanted to get at Titans because they are one of the worst NRL sides in the history. Yeah, I'm just petrified that. But then if he plays well for us and we win the grand final, he goes off. We pat him on the back, don't we? And says, you just sometimes you just see players, and it happens more in football. Like whenever I've watched United, and we've had a player on loan, particularly when we've been in lower leagues, you just go, "Wow, this guy he's way too good for us. He's only here for like a honeymoon." I just get this feeling with KP.
Well, he's what Tetevano should have been. Remember?
Yeah,
like
remember Tetevano?
Yeah, big
We've
name.
Had some big money signings.
Big money signing.
He's what. This is the version we should have.
Well, he's 3-4 times the player, isn't he?
Oh, 25.
Like I say,
20,
you can't give a better rap than. I don't think he's done anything wrong.
He hasn't. No.
I don't think I've seen him do anything wrong.
It's all going to boil down to end of the day when they get to them contract negotiations around whether the money's suitable enough to keep him in it.
Yeah, that's another thing. You make a good point.
That's the thing. Whether they get tempted to maybe go back or do whatever, or they're enjoying it here, but it's just not financially rewarding to keep him here.
I think maybe the good thing we have got is that prop's not the position that NRL are actually short of, is it? No. If it were at halfback,
if it's an halfback, because
Yeah, I think they're after George Williams again, aren't they, over there?
Yeah, they're about the
The Dolphins for 27.
So if he were a half-back, I think we'd have to be a bit more worried.
I'm just worried about any overseas player that plays well.
And at the end of the day, like you said, if they want to go on the tempted bite, they're going to go out.
They're going to go, as long as they still play well for us, what can we do?
If we win the league this year, which we will, and then he goes off, wins the grand final, this is all what ifs, maybes, I'm just making it up. You kind of shake hands and
I think he'll see his contract out.
That's just how highly I rate him.
I think he'll see his contract
I think he's
out.
absolutely enormous. Lovely haul from... Lovely haul.
What's wrong with us tonight?
Lovely haul from Trying the Corner.
What's he got here?
Jesus.
Just bear with us.
Hall. Keep it in. Hall. Lovely Trying the Corner. Using his body again. He kind of did it last week again. So who did we play? Hull. Smashing Liam Martin out of the way. Using his body again, taking the hit before slotting it down. And it just seems to be the old guard. Hall, Watkins, Hanley, all still turning up. All Cam Smith, Oledzki, somewhat. All the old guys still turning up and kind of putting it in, Phil, and sort of showing everyone else that they can still do it.
You're not stopping Ryan Hall from 2 yards out, are you?
No one's stopping him there.
And again, I were a little bit, dubious when we brought him back because of his age. Yeah, because of his age. I was looking at that bigger picture around. If you're coming through, and we had all this talent coming through academies and stuff and things like that, and I just thought, when you're looking at that succession planning, but he is like an extra forward on the wing, and he's proven that he's still.
He doesn't play like a 37-year-old, does he?
Finishing ability. He's a great athlete, and he's looked after himself. He's in good shape, and you're not stopping.
And
you're not stopping him.
What a winger for people like Riley Lum to learn from. Yeah. He's not missing a beat, is he?
And we've got to keep him around. Whether he's
he'll play on next year.
He has spoke about it, and he wants to. I think it'll be his 20th season next year. So
I think there's an option either way in his contract, isn't there?
Yeah.
You're not going to say, no, we don't want you.
No, we don't want you, Ryan Hall. Best winger that's ever touched the ball.
It might just get to that point where he's not the starting winger.
Which is probably what you want.
He could do a job at middle of the pack, couldn't he?
Yeah, second row, the size of it. Talking of the second row, Callum Watkins, I mean, with waxing lyrical.
What position did he play then? I don't think
everywhere.
It really matters.
Did he start 13?
Started at 13, did a bit of back row, just did whatever he was required. I mean, unbelievable to add such quality to what was and is an already quality-ridden side.
And I saw some people say we shouldn't be signing Callum Watkins. I'm like, he still looks international class to me.
Yeah, he does.
He's a great athlete, isn't he? Said this
I don't know, because Sean Wayne likes his own, doesn't he?
He won't pick Callum Watkins.
That's what I mean, but I wouldn't be.
John Bateman.
Yeah, probably.
Chris Hill. But if Watkins were picked for England, I wouldn't be.
Well, no, because look how he's playing. He's busting through line, whatever position
I'd pick all the Leeds players.
If he's
Australian ones.
Even KP.
What's good about him is that if he does have to play 13, he's big enough as an international.
Yeah.
Because you need that, don't you?
Absolutely.
He's proven his worth, and he's very versatile. I mean, he said he can drop in at centre, he can drop in at second row. And he said I think he played prop against Hull at one point.
Yeah, I think he did it against Castleford.
So classy.
At that first receiver, his hands he were good, wasn't he?
It must be a coach's dream. Like, play there.
Yeah, all right.
Still 100%.
Yeah, because if you ask him to play in any position, you're not going to lose anything. You're not going to lose any ability. You're not going to lose any overall performance. It just stays exactly the same, whether it's centre, prop, loose.
And obviously,
second row.
Can't speak for him because I don't know him, but it must be such a relief to be back at somewhere like Leeds and
away from Salford. I agree.
Well, Salford are a basket case, aren't they? And they have been for a while, so it must be such a relief. Because we'll look after him now, won't we?
Even in his time back at Salford, though, if you looked at their performances, he were always consistent.
He were best player they had.
That's what I mean. He were always consistent, so he's just an all-round athlete.
You look at Croft and Ackers, and they were playing great, but then Callum seems to sort of slipped under the radar a bit.
That's what I'm
and
saying, because you just
know.
expected he just missed the consistency week in, innit?
he always played well against us as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He always scored against Leeds.
Yeah, but he looks to be enjoying it, and
Yeah.
keep going, Cal.
Absolutely.
He's actually come straight to the side, and you think, where are you going to fit him in? Just put him wherever
Looks
now.
like,
He's
just
got to
looks
be-
like he's never ever
He has
been
got
away.
to be in 17, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Where does he need to be? And we'll just drop in there. Yeah, he's got to. Oh, he has to be.
You've got to keep him at 17.
Yeah,
He's
to be.
made himself undroppable, I think.
He's one that doesn't get dropped. It'll have to be either Bentley or someone else that falls away. That has been happening over recent weeks. On to the stats pack, the attack of the stats for this week. We have to thank our stats man, the Stig, for once again sending over the stats for this game. We did speak with them this week, and they do actually prefer to stay shrouded in mystery.
Oh, I'm not surprised, really, but they're so much better than Super League stats. So
unbelievable.
thanks to the Stig for...
The Stig. Unless we've got another nickname, it's just the Stig now.
Well,
A Stig?
But he did laugh at it, so...
did he?
Yeah. Who can blame them? Being mysterious is sexy, though, isn't it? Like, who is the Stig?
Mysterious stats. It's not that sexy, is it?
I think it is.
Is it?
I think there'd be a lot of people watching this going, yeah.
It's a lot of jealous folk.
Yeah, mysterious stats.
I wonder whether
they're the sexiest
who
stats
people
around.
think it is.
Who people think that they'd never.
Yeah.
Never
Drop
guess.
a comment in. Leave a comment
They'd
in.
never
You know
guess.
what it is.
I would nearly swore then. In a million years, you'd never ever guess. So on to the stats for this week. These are the biggest stats the Rhinos have had in the Super League era. They are monstrous, as we've kind of
It's only
flirted
a short
with and
pitch and all, is it?
Tiny.
Yeah.
It's like a stamp.
Yeah.
It's like a Sabutio pitch. Lachlan Miller,
Right.
300.
Yeah.
I am not joking this week. This is the first week ever. These are pure accurate. Lachlan Miller, 350 metres. Producer Chris.
I wonder when last time a Leeds player made that amount of metres. I wonder, we're not going to be able to answer it, so it's a stupid question, but as a rhetorical question, you know what I mean? Like,
I'd go even further and say a Super League player.
I know Liam Marshall's got
done-
near
he-
300 off
Yeah.
this week, but that's only because he'd scored 2 or 3 breakaway tries, so you're
Against,
gonna get it, aren't you?
Carl.
And people that do intercepts, you might do 100 in one carry, but they're not them sort of metres, are they? That's
No, they're
kick
not.
return metres. That's
In-game metres.
And
you got
again,
tackle?
look at the size of the pitch.
think
I know
tackle-
it's
Well,
tiny,
yeah,
innit?
you-
It's tiny.
must knock 50 metres off what you can.
Exactly.
But you can.
I think his tackle bus were about 10 or 11. Which is
350.
That's ridiculous, isn't it?
I bet they're into a player I'm going to say that. I don't know it, but I'm going to say that's a Super League high.
But Tetevano wouldn't have got that if he'd still been playing now.
He didn't get that in his Leeds career, him.
I can imagine.
God
I
almighty.
can imagine maybe Jai Field's done it a few times when they've been racking up scores.
Yeah, I bet there's a
But
few got
not in a
close.
game like that. That's a bit different, isn't it? 'Cause
Yeah, when
it
you've got
wasn't-
Salford.
we weren't making
you're playing
breakaway.
against Salford under 50.
one-
making breakaway tries.
Runaway tries.
No,
weren't
that
they?
is-
That's
That's
hands on the
ridiculous,
ball,
isn't it?
in-game involvement. It's we're running
Be
out of
interesting
words.
to see
something like
GPS stuff, wouldn't it? How many kilometres they've run, or
that. Maybe the Stig can get that for us.
I don't know. What can you say about that? 350
I'm running
metres.
out of words.
Yeah, it's-
I just can't. The silence is deafening.
Well done, Lackey.
Lucky
Must be
Miller.
knackered.
Absolutely unbelievable.
Have
I hope
tomorrow off.
I hope he's had a well-earned beer after that performance. Ryan Hall, 172 metres. Harry Newman, 134 metres. Ash Hanley, 240 metres. This continues, guys. Riley Lum, 193. Jake Connor, 124. Brodie Croft, 133. Can I just interject there again? I am not making these up for a change.
I think
These
people
are-
might think that the
People
Stig is
think-
just us.
As the
He
Stig,
just does it in a helmet at the back of the room.
has the Stig like tampered with the document?
These
Oh, these are real.
absolute legit. Cooper Jenkins, 111. Jared O'Connor, 17. What's going on? Discuss.
Pathetic.
Jared O'Connor, what's going on? Discuss.
These aren't right, are they?
Michaletsky, 185 from 40 minutes. Absolutely.
They are actually real. I think people will think
No,
these are not
honestly, these are 100% legit. James McDonnell, 100 on the nose. Morgan Gannon, 116. Callum Watkins, 145. Tom Holroyd, 88. Tom, what's going on there?
Tom.
What's going on there, bud?
Not part of the 100 club.
Yeah.
Dropped.
You've signed this new deal. You're only getting 88 metres. You need to up that. Everyone else is averaging about 140 each. Sam Lasoni, 176 metres, 2 tries.
He will never have done that in a game.
7 minutes on the field.
He will never have done that.
No.
And he'll potentially never do it again.
Maybe not.
2 tries, 176 metres after 27
In a game
minutes.
like that, though, there's probably not that many players who is capable of doing
No.
that, is there? 27 minutes, somebody said, right, you're going on.
To have that effect.
You're only going to play this, I want 2 tries in 100 metres. I'm like, what?
No, I can't. It's impossible. I'm not Sam Lasoni at Castleford.
And to be fair, it's not. We're not talking about them playing Salford's kids, are we?
Yeah, it wasn't a
were up
runaway
for it.
performance.
This
was
is
it?
why I thought
Well,
it was a really good performance.
when you look at them stats, we went in at half time 7-0.
7-0,
7-0, you know.
Top of the 7-0. It was off the back of that in the second half. KP, 156 from 40 minutes. And Cam Smith, returning from injury, 30 minutes, 113.
Really? I thought it went well, Cam.
Went really well. To
Got
say
that
him and
ball
Brody.
out well, didn't he, for, who was it, try?
Yeah.
Was it Rhinos try, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah,
When he
off the
slipped,
ground.
yeah.
Yeah.
Played
Thought it went
really well, considering that him and Brody are coming back.
Because his was a bad injury, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He got a really bad
Yeah.
one.
Been out for a long time, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Get better. Top 3 player tackles. Bestie of the pod, Jared O'Connor, 51. We'll forgive him.
Yeah.
He had a great game, to be fair.
He did.
He got man at match.
He got the Sky player of the match.
I
In
don't
man of the
agree
match,
with that,
yeah.
but he did have a good
He
game.
did have a really good second good game back to back, particularly in defence. Absolute beast mode. In
Were
defence.
it Barry McDermott on comms?
Yeah.
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 Barry gave him Sky man of the match. As we always say on here, though, it's one of those games where whenever you win, you're like, yeah, they can have it.
But I think
They
he.
could be it. They
He
could be
did
it.
say in his defence that he said even though Lissoni scored 2 tries, Ollie Newman scored 2 tries because of the work he'd done in the middle.
In the middle.
And the amount of,
yeah.
the amount of defending
I
he'd
don't-
done, you know.
Yeah,
but-
80 minutes, so fair dues.
24 runs, Lucky Miller.
For 350 metres.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For 350 metres. Just back to the tackles. James McDonald, 31, and Morgan Gannon, 25. Onto the runs, Lucky Miller, 24, Ash Hanley, 18, Cal, 15, and then obviously the top 3 for the metres with the ball. Lucky, 350, Ash, 240, and Riley, 193. Just absolutely unbelievable performance from the Rhinos. So it's now time to decide Matt Frawley, player of the match, for potentially
The last time.
as it could be rebranded. But before we choose our votes, I want you to play along at home and choose yours. Please comment below on this video on YouTube with your selection for your Matt Frawley Fast Signs player of the match, and let's see if you agree with us. Who wants to go first for their Matt Frawley Fast Signs
Lucky Miller.
player of the match? Lucky Miller has to be.
Well, I think he deserves the
Has to be,
renaming of the award.
as well as his awesome performance.
Yeah.
But the name, change the name.
No, in seriousness, I had Lissoni, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think you've got to give it to Lackey.
It's got to be Lucky.
But Lissoni, when's he ever going to get a chance to get that award again?
But Miller, 350 metres.
I think
What, 2 assists?
The
Yeah.
stats for me.
Assist to Hall and assist to...
Yeah, well, Lucky Miller, yeah.
Phil, who's your vote?
Initially, I was going to go with Callum Watkins.
You can still go with it.
You still
It's not,
can.
it's not a dictatorship here.
No, I know. Like Watkins, Miller, like Lasoni, they're all there, aren't they?
Yeah.
But I think purely on the stats and the performance alone, I don't think we'll see it again this season from
Yeah.
any player.
Any player in the league.
Yeah, in the league.
In
So
the league.
yeah, I'll go.
And
Lockie Miller.
that kind of rings true for Lasoni too, doesn't it? Those kind of stats, like you won't see a prop 27 minutes, 2 tries.
Sam Lasoni, fast size player of the. It's not gonna. That's not going to happen.
Lucky Miller
After-
fast signs player.
After the game, obviously, after the game, my initial thoughts were KP. I thought
Well, that's what I'm saying. I was thinking
You
Watkins.
can still go with him. It's your,
I came away from the game thinking he has absolutely killed it out there
still go with
today.
him.
He has dominated it. But then watching it back
your
again,
membership will be gone from the
We found him members. That's it. We're in for life.
Lucky Miller.
the Lucky Miller producer Chris fan club. But then watching it back, and then you get the stats from the Stig, and I'm like, no, it actually is. It's Lucky Miller.
Are you giving it?
100%. Yeah,
It's a big decision.
the very last one.
Yeah.
The last Matt Frawley Fast Science Player of the Match is Lucky Miller. Congratulations, Lucky. But what a momentous moment for the pod. A renaming
Changing of the
of
guards.
the Fast Science. Now, for anyone that isn't aware,
They'll be going, what are you talking
what
about?
are you talking about? This is the first time I've listened to this crap podcast. Matt, the reason... So Fast Science are our sponsors. It's the Fast Science Player of the Match. But then Matt Frawley last year had a period of 4 games when he won it 4 games in a row. And we made the joke of this is slowly becoming the Matt Frawley Player of the Match. Then we did say...
Wait,
for
so we made it a
2025,
thing, didn't we?
for 2025, we are going to call it the Matt Frawley Fast Science Player of the Match because we could never ever see a player getting 4 in a row again. It just seemed to be so scattergun.
And to be fair to Matt, they were deserved last year,
Yeah,
weren't they?
they were
Yeah.
deserved. And when we spoke to
Yeah.
him,
It's not like we were taking
No.
the credit.
no,
thing.
we
They were-
spoke to Mr. No, you when we spoke to him at the media day, we said, it was fully deserved. He said, yeah, I had a patch there where I were on fire. Well, Lucky's on fire now.
And he ain't finished.
It could be 5.
Exactly.
Are you sure it isn't 5?
It's definitely 4, so he's equaled it. But we've put the
Well, I
caveat.
think if you equal it, then you
you
take
become
over.
because it's so. Is
Back
anyone going to do? We said this about Matt Frawley.
Back at
Excuse
HQ
me.
next week against Wakey. Could go on and on.
4 tries and 912 metres later, we've got our 5th Player of the Match
Yeah.
award. So it is officially. Well, we never thought this day would come for a start, and yet here we are.
Proud.
The Fast Signs Player of the Match award from this moment forward will now be known as the Lucky Miller. Matt Frawley. Fast Signs.
Just line them up. Like,
We just
It's a
add the
double
player on
barrel.
each time, like a thing. No, it'll be known as the Lucky Miller Fast Signs Player of the Match award.
I'm honoured. I'm honoured to be in.
What a momentous
to be
occasion.
here.
Just comment below. Where were you when you heard the
are you
news?
going to message him and tell him?
Yeah, definitely.
Ooh, he might be
I'm going to
upset.
message him and say,
Might be upset.
No, Frawley might be upset. that
"Oh,
he's
I'll
gone.
message Lucky. You've got the award. You'll create an award for him. You'll commission Fast Signs to create an award.
But then we might have to change it. It could be the
That's
Jake
true.
Connor Fast Signs.
He is someone that could get
The
or
Sam
KP.
Lissoni.
The Sam
It's not going to
Lissoni
happen.
Fast Signs
No.
Player of the Match award. Just quickly moving on, we are joining forces with Bry from 6 again, and we're heading back to the Brotherhood Bar in Leeds for a very special podcast live event, a Super League mid-season review with Terry O'Connor and Yestin Harris. They're going to join us to share their views on the Super League season so far and answer some questions from our audience too. Head on down Tuesday the 1st of July at 7 o'clock at the Brotherhood Bar, the best sports bar in town. Tickets are on sale now. They're only £5 per person.
Bargain.
Bargain.
How cheap
Bargain.
are we? That is how much
What a night out for
we
£5.
love everyone that
Just
watches
to put it in
us.
perspective, it was 30 quid to go to Castleford.
30 quid to go to that dump.
£5.
the best £5 to see Terry O'Connor, and
That costs more than
that
£5.
was £9. What does it say on there? £9.70 for that coffee that Chris has just drank. Tickets are £5 per person, so come on down, have a drink with us, and have a really good chat with Terry and Yestin. Tickets are on sale now. If you follow our Instagram, lot_pod, or you can search us on Eventbrite, LotPod mid-season, Super League mid-season review. Come on down, we can't wait for that. 1st of July, Tuesday 1st of July, at 7 o'clock at the Brotherhood Bar in Leeds. Now, moving on to some coaching news. There's been some news floating around this past week or so, and it looks like, or potentially, is that word again? The Rhinos are eyeing up Steve McNamara as our next head coach. This is all coming from the French newspaper, and I'm definitely going to mispronounce this. Le Independant. Something along those lines. Sound like Del Boy.
No, you sound more like, what's the copper from Hello Hello?
I can't remember his name. I need to know that guy's name now. It's going to bug me. I'll text you at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
That French newspaper, who reckon the Rhinos are lining up McNamara as soon as possible. Possibly the long-term replacement for Brad Arthur. Brad Arthur's deal, of course, runs out at the end of 2025. McNamara is technically still under contract with Catalan Dragons through to 2026, but is apparently on his way out, just very quietly out the back door, sneaking out.
From gardening leave.
The Dragons haven't confirmed anything yet.
Well, he wasn't there.
But he wasn't there the weekend, so there's a lot.
That's really weird, that, isn't it?
It's really strange, and there's potentially some legal headaches and potential issues with some lawyers. Apparently, McNamara has spoken with Catalans this week, but nothing's been finalised. So it's still looking like a move to Leeds could be on the cards. Let's put it this way, Phil. If McNamara was announced as the new Rhinos head coach, how would you feel about that, my friend?
Looking like you'd want to be diplomatic, but don't want to be
I don't know.
thought
It's
you were gonna
hard, innit?
throw-
Because anybody who's in that position there, I mean, because it's been spoke around on it for a number of weeks. Where
It's been a few weeks.
It's been a few weeks where them jungle drums have been beating that McNamara's going to come.
We tried to avoid it as long as we could.
Yeah.
As in speaking on the pod
Gutted
about
that, obviously, Brad Arthur, he's potentially going. I know he might not go back to the job in the NRL, which he spoke around at Perth. But I fully understand his reasons for going. And he goes, if that's the decision what's made, he goes, thank you very much for everything what you've
Can I
done.
just interject on this? Sorry, Phil, I'll let you carry on.
No, go on.
Will the journalists stop asking him about it?
I know.
He's going to end up fucking smacking one of them. It's just so unprofessional. He keeps saying, "You'll know when I know."
Yeah.
But
That's
they
it.
insist.
And they keep pressing it on it. So
They
if any
insist
journalists
upon it.
watch it, I know you've got to
leave him alone.
I know you've got to get your clickbait, you've got to get your headlines, and you've got to get this, but just leave the poor guy alone.
Or
Right,
if
sorry,
anything,
that's just a bit-
talk him into staying.
Yeah, sorry, Phil. I just had to say that
No,
because
it's fine.
every time I watch it, I'm like, just leave the guy alone.
It's like you said that they're not interested in the other. They want that first story, don't they? But
Sorry, carry on.
But yeah, I mean, he'd go obviously with his thanks for everything what he's done because he's toughened his team up. Hopefully, we're going to continue that for the rest of the season. Steve McNamara, when you look at him, is he somebody what you'd probably expect to come into Leeds? Initially not. He would never have been spoke around that. But, when you look at his coaching pedigree, he's been around some good clubs, hasn't he? He's been in NRL as an assistant. He's done that. So
Challenge Cup winner, league leaders,
look
Shield.
when you look at the job he has done at Catalan, he's turned them from
Well, they were nearly relegated.
a team fighting relegation into cup winners, etc., and team challenging and that and
Consistent
stuff. So
playoffs, yeah.
I'm not really, really excited by the thought of it, but I think his pedigree, given the right context and stuff, I think he might do all right if possible. I think it is a come down from Brad Arthur, but I just don't think Brad Arthur has got that time to do it, because of the personal circumstances back home in Oz.
Producer Chris, McNamara.
Right, I think he gets some undue stick. Personally, a lot of teams fans seem to hate him for some reason. I don't particularly like his demeanour when he's been interviewed and stuff. I think I've never liked coaches that are too quick to blame other people for.
McNamara's fantastic at that.
Yeah,
He's a right
I don't
whiner.
like that. Brad Arthur is the total opposite.
Which is refreshing.
He's introspective, isn't he? It's pointless blaming other people. McNamara seems to want to blame other people, but I think that's some of the Catalans' culture. They're always seen as outsiders, aren't they? So
they are.
I don't know whether he's
can have a bit of a chip on
I
your
don't know
shoulder
whether
being
he's
out
playing on that or whether
get
that is what he's like. I don't know what he was like at Bradford or.
Hull.
And he was decent as England coach. He didn't seem to do that then. So that
Won a
might be just
series against
that
New
might just
Zealand.
be a Catalans thing. That is my biggest grievance about him, really. Coaching wise, I think he gets a bit of stick. Would it be my choice? No. I think the biggest reason I don't want him to join, and that's because he will get stick from day one.
Yeah.
The fans will be on his back. The first loss, the first bad performance, and I don't ever want to go to Leeds again and it be as toxic as when Rowan Smith were there, because it was awful. Whatever you thought of Rowan Smith or whatever, whether you wanted him there or not, the environment was
it was bad. Wasn't it?
It was
when
toxic.
When you look back now to what we've got,
it was toxic, and I think McNamara is not liked by Leeds fans in general. Not
you think
me.
It could potentially...
They'll be on his back from day one.
Yeah.
Be
and I
toxic quicker.
Yeah, and I think Leeds would be mad to put him in that situation and put...
I was going to say, that's not fair on McNamara then, right? Should that be the case?
Everyone in that situation, really.
But we're just going to undo all the good stuff for the last year and this for putting that person in that position. So, I mean...
And that's not his fault, really.
No, that's what I'm saying.
That's our fan base's fault, to be perfectly honest.
If he's without a job and Leeds come in and offer him a job, he's going to take it, isn't he?
Of course he is,
You know... Whether he's going to say he's the right person for the job and everything else, but I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what other options there is if that is, if it comes to fruition.
I think Jamie Langley will get it.
You reckon? Yeah.
It may not be the right.
That's just my opinion.
It may not be the right thing to do by the Rhinos. So if or when Brad Arthur does leave, I would like to see Brad Arthur offer his opinion.
Yeah.
On who should replace him, just because
not publicly, I hope.
Not publicly, not to stand and look at Aaron Bauer in his pants and on a Zoom call, and what I mean. Then, but I mean, behind the scenes, I'd like, because as Phil's just said, hit the nail on the head there and took my point. But he's putting no. That's why we have you on. As in, I want to say McNamara then. Arthur's put all this work in. We're all absolutely loving seeing what we're probably going to win the league. I'd like him to say, or the club to work together with him to say, who do you... It may well be Jamie Langley.
Well, the problem you've got with that is Brad Arthur might like somebody like McNamara. So do you get what I mean? I just really don't want the club to go back to the toxic environment.
Yeah,
because it was awful.
There's got to be a thorough handover process. And the fact that the directors and the management and all that type of stuff saying, look, we're really happy how we just want to continue on this theme.
I think it's so delicate.
So we want to onboard them now to get them into it and that type of stuff. So they continue.
That leads to McNamara, doesn't it?
Yeah. But whether, like you said, we can't just have a new coach come in and say, right, everything what's happened over the past 2 years, ignore that. You're going to play my way, this way, etc.
No, we don't want that, do we? That's why somebody like Jamie Langley makes sense to me.
Because that environment then, Chris, then comes back in, doesn't it?
Well, I think they'll be on his back from day one, and it doesn't really matter what...
It's going to hide into nothing.
Because we might start well, lose a few games, and honestly, I think it's just because we're a big club. I'm not having a go at our fans. It's not that. It's just there's a lot of them, isn't there?
Yeah.
And I think they'll just be so quick to go.
It'd be similar if we went to Wigan.
Exactly,
Saints. It's not just a Leeds thing.
Matty Pete were getting pelters from all Wigan fans because he didn't start that well. I know it's turned round all right, hasn't it?
It's turned round, but again...
He's not done bad.
We're fickle as fans, aren't we? I just think want everything to be right.
We've gone from, if you look at this time last year, like... the horrible environment it was, and it wasn't nice. And again, whatever you think of Rowan Smith or whatever, I think that the atmosphere was horrible. So we've gone from everyone wanting a coach out to everybody wanting the coach to stay
and in.
It's like the exact opposite.
Yeah.
But the problem we've got with that is it's Brad Arthur's decision, and we've got to. If he wants to go home with his family, what are you going to do?
I think, like I said, as long as they leave it in a better situation than what they have taken over, and have done that. But again, I think that we've got to continue on that trend. We can't go back to what it was. Can't go back to what
with McNamara, coaching Leeds is different to coaching Catalans, isn't it?
Massively.
You haven't got. It's almost the reverse. They've got the backs against the wall situation where everyone hates
the
us.
expectations at Leeds is you deliver in it.
Yes, that's it. There's
no
other. There's no other. Not in this day and age.
No.
Not with social media age. Not with everything being online. Not with anything.
It's instant.
A Leeds team has to either win something straight away or be good to watch or look like they're improving. We've got two of them, haven't we? We haven't won something yet, but we look like we're improving and we're good to watch.
And we just need to get that momentum.
Yeah. I think, like I said, I think McNamara's CV's it's credible in it. You know, he's cut his teeth. He's done that. He's done England job. He's, like I said, he's been assistant in IRL. He's done a decent job at Catalans, given his constraints of the team is what he's got.
Yeah.
And I think if he does step up to that expectation of being a Leeds Rhinos coach, I think he will. Like I said, he won't have no.
I won't take
he won't
it.
have no.
I won't take it.
He won't have no bedding in period. He's going to have to deliver from day one.
Yeah,
He will.
Just follow that.
That's it.
Good work from Brad Arthur.
Yeah.
Especially if, as Eddie predicts, we win something this year.
We will.
We win Super League. Imagine once Super League, Brad Arthur goes and Steve McNamara comes in. Good luck,
Reigning
pal.
champs,
Yeah.
Good luck, Steve, if you do get the job.
Big
It's
boots to fill.
Massive boots to fill. It's now time to look ahead to the Rhinos' next fixture, which is Wakefield. Phil, we owe Wakefield one, don't we? Do you feel that way?
Yeah.
Owe them
Definitely.
a beating.
The Dictors in that first game of the season.
They did.
The quarters on
The quarters on the
cold, didn't they?
Yeah.
We
Massively.
really, it felt like we really weren't ready for the start of the season.
No, and
some
that was
reason.
most
Should have been.
disappointing thing when we'd
Yeah.
had all that off season, first game of the season, and it was like we were a bit deflated. But we own big time. I mean, Wakey have put some half decent performances on there. As I speak, they've obviously beat a depleted Salford side quite heavily today. I just can't get how quick we're playing them at Eddingley again, though.
Scheduling this year.
Just
The scheduling this year.
That's,
is
away
all
game.
over
that's
the
a
shop.
whole new podcast in its own right.
We played
innit?
Salford away twice in 3 weeks.
We haven't played any teams once yet, and we're playing Wakey again. At Eddingley. I think it's got makings of being a good game, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Makings of being a
one.
really good game. Wakey, like I said, throw some good shapes. We're on a good up
And we own
upward lift
one.
now, and we own one.
And it's M&D round.
Yeah.
And it's MND. Yeah. Good point.
Going in off back of this
Really
game
good
against
point.
Cass, I expect us to continue that. All the good stuff again. I expect us back to dominate and us back to be playing some good rugby off back of it. Yeah.
Any changes to the side?
I've got a couple, actually.
Really? Oh, go ahead. I was about to say, you don't change a winning side, do you, Chris?
Well, he's already mentioned
Here it is.
It's not just me. Brad Arthur's already mentioned James Bentley will play.
I will. So who's coming out then?
I'd pull Gannon out.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's off. Yeah.
Yeah. Sing you, Morgan.
No, it's not. It's nothing to do with that. I didn't think he had the best game.
It was one of his
personally.
quieter ones, wasn't it?
And he is still coming back from that long layoff. Give him a week.
Give him the week.
Give him a week's rest. And I think you'll disagree with this. I'd give Riley Lum a week off and bring
Edgel.
ECW.
Really?
He's been playing well in reserves, hasn't he?
He's come back
Has
from
he?
injury. It might not be the right game to do that. Riley's played more games than he would ever dreamt of this year.
That's true.
He's not done anything wrong. It's not because he's done something
that's
wrong.
the hard part, innit? You know,
You could 100% argue against what I'm saying and say, well, he's playing well, keep him going.
burnout, just a little bit of.
Part of me just like to see what that
ECW.
yeah, and the same with Gannon. Maybe just pull him out for a week.
Squad rotation.
Then we've got another week off because of Challenge Cup. So yeah, I'd swap Gannon out for Bentley, but
And Riley for
I'd put Bentley on
Clark
bench
Wood.
and have Watkins second row.
Yeah.
And I put Clark Wood instead of Riley Lum, and it's not it's not because Lum's done anything wrong. He's a young kid. He's played every game, has he?
Just manage them minutes.
every game, yeah.
Maybe let's see because he's supposed to be quick. ECW. He's supposed to be quickest player at club.
Really?
Yeah, they've
We need to
tested
see it
him.
then, don't we?
Get him outside.
We need
Ash.
to see it.
Riley overran a ball again.
Or from
I'm not giving him stick,
No.
and I'm not saying
It's
that's
hard
a.
though, innit? So sometimes I think that Ash holds on to it a little bit too late. I think
does,
he
but
tries to
he
take
were-
that contact and then give it
He were
rather
in.
than.
He were too far in front to take a ball. But I'm not saying that's why he should get dropping.
See, now you're getting dropped
So
Riley
drop
for
it.
that.
Not at all, but
He is ruthless, isn't he?
all I'm
We
saying.
got to the reasoning.
No, all I'm saying is a young kid and he's played a lot of games, so maybe
Yeah,
he
he
just
has.
needs a good rest.
Yeah, good
and we've got an overseas quota winger. Let's
Let's see him.
see
Let's
what he
watch
can
him.
do. Yeah.
See him in action.
We could put Wallace in from Huddersfield.
Oh, yeah, I forgot we even signed him. Who?
Why did what?
I don't know.
Has he gone back yet? Oh,
No, he's on a month.
What, has he played for any
he played
sides?
For reserves, I think, didn't he? Or
Reserves hammered Wigan, didn't
yeah.
Yeah.
they? But we had
Jackson
Frawley
Matt Frawley and
6 and 7.
TNW playing with him.
Yeah.
he's injured now, isn't
Is he? What from that game?
he? Yeah. Little Tom.
Oh, he had a
Yeah.
boot on the other week, didn't he?
Yeah,
He
he's
had a
injured.
boot on his-
It's quite a long layoff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think Bentley will come in. I don't think he'll swap them out. But that's what I'd do.
That's what you'd do. Predictions for this one?
Do you know what? It's either going to be really close. I've said this a couple of times.
Said this all
or
year.
I think we could actually get a...
I thought we were
good-
going to run away against Cass, when I thought back in the game, I thought they were going to tire a bit and we'll put a score on them. But
I don't think Wakey having 2 relatively easy wins will be great for them. Like today's was just a training run.
yeah.
I don't think that's a great...
Salford, yeah. That's a
Sorry.
tap
I don't think that's a great preparation for what Leeds will throw at them, and I think we'll be out for revenge. The play with Rob Burrow on the shirt.
MND. Home game.
Leeds by 18.
Phil? Prediction, what say you?
Leeds by 24. Ooh. Yeah.
Leeds by 30. So we're all going for an easy
Yeah,
Rhinos.
I think we could cut loose. Yeah.
ECW
Yeah.
to score a hat-trick.
Hat-trick from EC. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks everybody for listening. Thanks to Chris. Thanks to Phil. As always, if you are watching on YouTube, please do subscribe to us. If you are listening on Spotify or iTunes, please leave us a 5-star review. It just bumps us up those podcast charts more than you'll know. And don't forget, you can stay in touch with us throughout the week on Instagram, Blue Sky and TikTok. If you just search for the Lot Pod, that's us there, and you can give us a follow and keep in touch with us throughout the week. We'll see you all when we're back for the Wakefield match review panel. Take care.